You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It is a beautiful day at Yankee Stadium, presenting the greatest stadium in the world, and the fans are making their way to a great matinee to finish off this homestand for the Yankees. And they're here to see CC Sabathia. And if you divide CC by 50, you might get that little guy. Today, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Milwaukee Brewers in the final game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. The Yankees just keep winning. Second best record in baseball. They're leading the American League East as well. Yesterday, a 5-2 victory. And some victories, John, are the type that you would draw up just that way. And that's what happened last night.
Yeah, it was a professional victory for the New York Yankees, and it all starts with starting pitching. A.J. Burnett had a quality performance. 7 innings. He struck out 4 in this ballgame, gave up a couple of earned runs, gets a nice ovation from the crowd at Yankee Stadium. You always need a little bit of offense, and Russell Martin has needed some offense lately. He's been struggling a little bit. It's a 3-run home run. Jorge Posada, number 9, a line drive, hits the top of the wall into the seats. A little review from the umpires, and they take care of it. The bullpen, David Robertson especially, has been fantastic lately. He pitched the 8th inning, and then you had Mariano Rivera, the best of all time, closing it out for the New York Yankees. An impressive victory last night.
A lot of smiles when the Yankees play Interleague. Check this out. This season, they've won all 5 Interleague series. They're 10-4, batting average of .254, which isn't that great, but they had the 18 home runs, and they pitched very well against the National League teams. Now, speaking of pitching, let's look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Randy Wolf has had a good season for Milwaukee, 6-4, 3.20, and the former Brewer, CC Sabathia, another great year for him, 10-4 with a 3.25. Now, Sabathia didn't spend that much time in Milwaukee, but the time he spent, he had an absolute ball. We'll look at the numbers and hear from CC about his stay in Milwaukee next on segment 2. First pitch of Game 3 of this 3-game set. CC Sabathia will pitch for the Yankees, and boy, there was a love affair between CC and the Brewers, and some of these numbers are why. 11-2 in his 17 starts with Milwaukee back in 2008, 1.65. He did everything that you could possibly do, include starting his final 3 games on 3 days rest as the Brewers were in a tight pennant race. When you ask CC how he feels about his time in Milwaukee, he doesn't shy away how special it was.
Honestly, the best 3 months of my career, a stretch, and just the guys and the organization, the city, everybody welcomed me in with open arms, and like I said, I have felt like I've been there forever. It's going to be weird for me. You know, like I said, I mean, when I first got there, I felt like I'd been there, you know, my whole career, you know, from day one. So, you know, going back and facing it, it'll be, you know, as weird as me facing the Indians.
Well, we'll see how he does. If he does well, the Yankees likely will sweep this 3-game set. When we come back, lineups, first pitch baseball, all coming up next, right here on Yes. Part by Domino's. Order a handmade inspired pizza at Domino's.com and see the progress of your order in real time with Domino's Tracker. By T-Mobile's family plans with unlimited data, talk, and text. Step up to nationwide 4G. And by the New York Lottery. When you scratch Lottery's instant games, good things happen in an instant, so be ready. We're ready for baseball here at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees have taken the field. CC is taking his warm-ups on a gorgeous Thursday afternoon in New York City. And let's take a look at the Milwaukee starting lineup, which is presented by Avis. Brewers have lost the first 2 games of this 3-game set. They'll lead off their second baseman, Ricky Weeks. Carlos Gomez, the center fielder, bats second. Batting third, playing left field, Ryan Braun. Prince Fielder will DH. He's going to clean up. Batting fifth, playing right field, Corey Hart. Casey McGee, the third baseman, hits sixth. Batting seventh, playing first base, Matt Gamble. Unieski Betancourt, the shortstop, will bat eighth. And batting ninth and catching, George Kataris.
That lineup for the Brewers, some old teammates of CC Sabathia. We'll take a look at his numbers on the year, and they are outstanding. He's on a good run lately. 17 starts. This will be his 18th. 10-4, 3.25 ERA, only 119 hits and 122 innings. Look at our Jeep pitcher scanner report, and I don't know if it can get any better. He's won 7 out of his last 8. He struck out 9 his last outing, and he likes pitching early. Day games, 10-1 throughout his career, or his last 12 starts actually, a 1.77 ERA. And he had a great time as a Brewer, 3 months in 08.
Ricky Weeks is ready, so is Sabathia. Let's do it here in New York. And the first pitch is up and away, and we are underway. Weeks has really been shut down by the Yankees over the first 2 games, 1 for 8. Hitting 286 overall. Good power from the leadoff spot. There's a strike.
Michael, for 2 games we've been talking about the power of the Brewers, and the Yankee pitching staff has done a great job of shutting them down. They've gotten their hits in the 2 games. They've not shown that power.
The 1-1. 2-1. The Brewers are not a great road team. They're an outstanding home team, but they're 15-26 on the road, 366 winning percentage. That's the lowest in the National League. And they're still leading the Central, which tells you how good they are at home. The 2-1. Foul bat. At home, the best in baseball, 29-11. They scored 2 more runs per game at home, and they pitched to a better ERA at home. Miller Park is a hitter's ballpark.
But in order to be a playoff team and a dangerous playoff team, you have to find a way to win games on the road.
Usually, John, the formula is be 500 on the road and beat up opponents at home.
Yeah, I think most importantly, you want that confidence as a club if you do get to the postseason that you can go on the road and maybe steal a game. Right now, the Brewers struggling in that department.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Foul tip held onto by Cervelli. One away. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. It's a little different today. Joe Girardi giving some of his guys a rest. Jones, Gardner, and Swisher left to right in the outfield. Infield, Pena, Nunez, Cano, and Teixeira. That's third to first. So nothing wrong with Granderson or A-Rod just getting a rest. Cervelli giving Martin a day off, day game after night game. And Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound. Here's Carlos Gomez. Nigel Morgan has started the first 2 games in center. You want to keep Gomez off the bases. He has 15 stolen bases.
Thinking back to CC Sabathia in his last start against the Colorado Rockies, as good as we have seen all year. Had a great fastball, slider, changeup in that game.
Got good early stuff today. Those are the numbers against the Rockies, which John's talking about. 8 innings, just 1 walk and 9 strikeouts.
Only 103 pitches in 8 innings. Impressive.
You might remember Gomez. He was the centerpiece that went to the Minnesota Twins in the deal that sent Johan Santana to the Mets. But I don't think he was the Twins' ideal player. And there's a trade. Philip Umber now is pitching very well with the White Sox. And if you look at it, the Twins really didn't get much for a great pitcher.
It's surprising the Twins, a quality organization as far as scouting.
Gomez type of player sometimes cuts the mustard, as they say, and that's not Ron Gardenhire's way, and they tried to break him of that, and then they decided just to cut their losses. The 2-2.
You know, Michael, if you're a scout, though, and you're watching Gomez, whether it's taking batting practice or throwing from center field, and he's got plenty of speed. You mentioned that 15 stolen bases. It's hard to imagine that that talent has not really come through at the major league level, a part-time player here in Milwaukee.
Two-two. Swing and a miss. Chased a high 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 strikeouts.
CC feeling pretty good about his fastball. It's up in the zone. I don't know if he wanted to elevate it that much, but Gomez helps him out by expanding. 2 outs, 2 strikeouts.
Cameras out in force on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. Ryan Braun takes a strike. Now, those cameras are not HD TV, but we are. And IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. That camera's HD. The 0-1. Line the other way. Foul.
Nothing new for Ryan Braun going the other way. A 19-game hitting streak. He extended it last night. Had a big night last night. 3 hits in that game. A couple the other way.
Can CC strike out the side here in the first inning? The big left-hander deals the 0-2. Nope. Ground ball through for a base hit. So Ryan Braun extends his hitting streak to 20 straight. And that'll bring up Prince Fielder. And Fielder and Sabathia are very, very close. And here's what CC had to say about facing his buddy.
As a baseball player, unbelievable talent. You know, he works hard at it, takes a lot of pride in it. So it's good to see him having good years. And Hopefully he can just keep going. As a friend, man, he's a good dude, and our wives get along good, so that makes it easier.
So let's see how he deals with the big left-hander. Doing a breaking ball inside. They constantly text each other, and they got very close in CC's short time in Milwaukee, which CC has admitted is the best time of his career. Now, this is a guy who won a championship with the Yankees in 2009, but those approximately 3 months in Milwaukee, he rates as a highlight. And the Brewers, to their credit, being a smaller medium market team, they made a legitimate offer to Sabathia. They offered him $100 million for 5 years. But the Yankees gave him a 7-year deal worth over 160, and now you talk to him and he loves it here. He lives here full time. He's moved his family here full time. They used to live on the West Coast. This is Fielder's first career at bat against his buddy. Those are the numbers Fielder's put up.
We talked about Prince Fielder. I mean, he's known as being a big-time slugger, but a very respectable batting average against left-handers. Stays in there and drives the ball the other way.
Sabathia was asked, see how close this is, about Fielder maybe coming to the Yankees as a DH, and he's very honest. He said, no. He's a first baseman. He's too young to be a DH at this point. And the Yankees obviously set it first with Mark Teixeira. It'll be interesting to see what teams bid on Prince. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Fielder down on strikes. CC strikes out the side. All swinging. The first one that went down, Ricky Weeks. Then it was Carlos Gomez chasing a high fastball, and then Prince Fielder whiffs on a heater. By Bank of America. This is a lineup that's going to face Randy Wolf. Brett Gardner leads off. He'll play center. Batting second, the right fielder, Nick Swisher. Mark Teixeira at first base will hit third. Cleaning up, playing second base, Robinson Cano. Jorge Posada all the way up to the fifth spot. He'll DH. Batting sixth and playing left field, Andrew Jones. Eduardo Nunez, the shortstop, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Francisco Cervelli. And Ramiro Pena, the third baseman, will bat ninth.
That lineup going to face a veteran left-hander, Randy Wolf. Take a look at his numbers on the year, and he's had a very respectable season. 6-4, an ERA 3.20. Only 30 walks and 98 in the third. And we'll take a look at our G pitcher scouting report. He's had a very nice career, 120 and 101, and an ERA just over 4 in 13 seasons. And on a pretty good 7-game stretch, 3-0 with an ERA of 2.3. And he has to take care of George Gutierrez behind the plate, who doesn't throw that well, but only one stolen base the last 8 starts for Wolf.
There's a strike. Adrian Johnson, the home plate umpire, in good voice. Gutierrez and Wolf, they are a pair. And it doesn't matter that the Yankees are throwing a left-hander. Gutierrez is in there. because he is Wolf's personal catcher.
Yeah, Ron Renicky, one of the managers, who says, you know what, I want Wolf to be comfortable with his battery mate behind the plate. Gutierrez in there for his bat, not so much as throwing.
Gardner has not had a great homestand, 3 for 18. Wolf has been great in the first inning in his last 7 starts. The 2-1. 2-2.
Wolf, your typical left-hander. I mean, he's got all 4: fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Saw that fastball at 89 miles an hour. That's pretty much where he is going to live. Just a very reliable, probably a number 3 starter in the big leagues. Mike Mussina always got a lot of attention here, Michael, for how he finished up. He was always in good fielding position. Randy Wolf the same way. A nice, simple delivery, and always ends up in a good fielding position after delivering the pitch.
And that's a walk. So the Yankees off to a good start. Let's check out the Milwaukee defense. Brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Braun, Gomez, and Hart left to right in the outfield. McGee, Betancourt, Weeks, and Gamble third to first. We're talking about Gutierrez behind the plate, and Randy Wolf is on the mound.
Nick Swisher hitting second, kind of interesting. Brett Gardner leading off against the lefty. Nick has gotten some opportunities to lead off against left-handers, hitting second today.
6-game hitting streak for Swisher. 8 for his last 18. And after really a miserable first 2 months for him, he's pushed his numbers up to respectability.
Double digits now with the home runs at 10, 43 RBIs.
Russell Martin had his 10th home run yesterday. You see what Nick's done in his last 9 games. Now the Yankees have 6 players in double digits. And that's the most of any major league team. The only other team that has as many as 5, the Texas Rangers. And Posada's 1 home run away from joining that group and making it 7 players in double digits. Home run yesterday for Jorge. Had to be reviewed, but reviewed in his favor.
Mentioned for Randy Wolf, only 1 stolen base against him in his last 8 starts. He's got to take care of that running game. Gutierrez, a left-handed hitting catcher who's known for some power, but not so much for his throwing behind the plate. Yankees might be able to take advantage.
Bartolo Colon. He's officially starting Saturday at Citi Field against the Mets. So a quick rehab for him with the hamstring injury. It was actually just the 15-day DL. There's a strike.
There's going to be a lot of concern, I'm sure. I mean, about the hitting and coming out of the batter's box and possibly running the bases. We'll see how that goes. I wonder if Joe Girardi would just tell him, I don't even want you to swing the bat. You hope maybe for some bunting opportunities to move a runner over. See how they play it.
Runner goes. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Gardner.
Stolen base number 18. He had a couple of opportunities to see Wolf's delivery, and he takes advantage. A great jump. Mentioned Gutierrez, he doesn't throw that well. He tries to get rid of it quickly. Does not have a whole lot of arm strength. Easy stolen base for Brett Gardner.
Gutierrez wants to talk with Wolf. Well, we said it's a matinee, and that's a good thing for the Yankees. They're 22-4 in day games, which really is extraordinary. The only other Major League team to win 22 of its first 26 day games over the last 50 years was the 1998 Yankees. They were 22-4 as well at that time. Nick Swisher walks, so 2 straight walks to open the inning for Randy Wolf. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. Looks nice. Let's see how it reads. 78 degrees, 44% humidity. Wind is 9 miles per hour. Looks like it's blowing out. And it's forecasted to be partly cloudy. Now, the Yankees' success in day games would seem to indicate that they don't have a lot of blue-eyed people on their team, because the new thing out now is that people with blue eyes have a harder time focusing on the baseball in day games. That's what Josh Hamilton has been saying, why he struggled so much in day games for the Texas Rangers. And some ophthalmologists say that there's some legitimacy to it, but if you go back in history, Mickey Mantle had blue eyes and he did great in day games. So I guess you could look at any cross-section of people and come up with some variable. Foul back.
I mean, there are some hitters who will walk up to the plate during day games and don't pick up the ball as easily as they do during the night. They like hitting under the lights. A little bit brighter during the day, obviously. Some sun-drenched afternoons.
Paul O'Neill said he always preferred playing under the lights because the lights are so good. Runners go, and it's a double steal. Teixeira's double clutched and never released the ball.
Yeah, the Yankees might try to exploit Teixeira's behind the plate this afternoon. Brett Gardner does not even get a great jump. I mean, there's a play at third, but you can see the third baseman McGee is not covering. I guess the Brewers had on that they were going to try to get Nick Swisher at second base, but Gutierrez has not come up with a throw. Randy Wolf, who has done a nice job in the first inning, is having a little trouble here.
Now, one thing that Teixeira has been great at, especially on this homestand, hitting a ground ball here and getting in a run. Fouls that one off his foot, and the count is full. Milwaukee, of course, plays the infield back. They don't want a ground ball to squeeze through, and that would be 2 runs, so they'll give up 1. And the perfect ground ball for a hitter to strike in this situation is a ground ball to the right side. You score Gardner, and you have Swisher move to third with 1 out.
That's why Randy Wolf went with a 3-1 cutter in on Mark Teixeira, fouled it off his foot.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. So Teixeira does not get it done there.
Back-to-back pitches inside, and Wolf comes with a little extra. 90 miles an hour up and in, ties up Mark Teixeira.
Teixeira has brown eyes, not blue, but still swings and misses here on this matinee.
You know, when I heard that, Josh Hamilton saying
now
that.
You've heard this right before I said it, right?
Yeah, no, I heard that he said it.
Right.
I didn't hear that the eye doctors actually gave it a vote of stamp of approval that can be true.
Right.
Because I called, come on. Really? Oh, you played high school games during the day, right? I mean, the guy was the first pick in the country.
It does seem a little odd. And when he had the MVP season, he still had blue eyes. Obviously, he had hit in the day. And there's a strike to Robinson Cano. John, there's a theory for everything in life.
How about you just come out and say, you know what, I'd rather hit under the lights, see the ball a little bit better than during the day?
Hamilton hits .238 in the day and .334 at night. Randy Wolf gets tough with runners on base over his last 7 starts. They are 3 for 37 against him. That one is lined into left center field. It is a base hit. That'll score 2 runs. Braun cuts the ball off. Cano's going for two, and he makes it easily. A 2-run double for Cano, and the Yankees are up 2-0.
You know, when Robinson Cano is going good, you'd seem to see this a couple of at-bats a game. Go the other way, he gets a slider up in its middle, and he just stays on it and drives it the other way. Robinson been struggling a little bit lately, rolling a lot of ground balls to second base. Not here. Nice piece of hitting going the other way. On Yes Mo, you can see how that bat stays through the zone. Extension out towards the field. Double and a couple RBIs.
51 ribbies now for Cano. And that brings up Posada. He has the average to 240. What a climb it's been for him.
Talked about this a few days ago. Your hitter struggles early on. You take it with 10 points on your batting average. Jorge now at 240, and you start thinking, if I can get to 250, great month of June, 391. If you can get to 250 before that All-Star break, enjoy a couple of days and look forward to the second half. Last night for Jorge Posada, he gets a little slider from Dillard, and this is a rock right field. Off the top of the wall into the seats.
Jorge actually made 2 trips around the bases. Double the fun. Only 1 counted. There's a strike. Count 2-2. So I mean, we throw stats at you, and some of them could be, you know, hints into what might happen. We told you that Randy Wolf had not allowed a run in 7 starts in the first inning, and here he is. He's down 2-0, and Yankees threatening for more.
Yeah, deflating for the Brewers too. I mean, they played a poor game the first game of the series. Got beat last night 5-2, and here down early.
And they're down early against a guy who's really been dealing. CC Sabathia. Hot shot foul.
Jorge Posada, whose numbers have gotten better, obviously after that slow start, getting an opportunity again here to hit right-handed. Really struggled early on from that side of the plate.
Swing and a miss. And he turns around and asks Adrian Johnson, was that a strike?
Wolf can get you thinking about some fastballs inside. The pitch before was in, and here he throws one away. Jorge just swings right through it.
And that was a strike. There's Andrew Jones. Andrew has not played in a while because the Yankees have faced a string of right-handed starters. But this time, Andrew's in the lineup, and Gardner is also in the lineup. Usually the two of them platoon in a sense, but they give Granderson the day off. Count 1-0. Jones 11 for 55, that's 200, but with 3 home runs against Wolf in his career. Andrew was ready early, walked into the clubhouse. He had the pinstripes on. He had the eye black tape under the eyes, and he was ready to go, sitting there at his locker at about 11:15. That's a little early, right?
To have your game face on?
Full uniform.
Yeah, that's early. High strike right there from Adrian Johnson, home plate umpire this afternoon. See a little look of frustration on Andrew Jones' face.
Oh, 66 miles an hour. Count 3-1. It's like Wolf is laughing, but
these guys were teammates in LA, I'm thinking, right?
I believe the 3-1. John, it just seems like he throws so much off speed that he lulls you to sleep, and 89 seems faster.
No, he's got a little extra life on the fastball. You know, Randy Wolf has made a career of knowing what he's doing out on the mound. I mean, he can throw a 66-mile-an-hour curveball, then come back an upper 80s fastball up a little bit. Little cutter in on your hands if it's a right-handed batter, just to make you think about it.
And Andrew Jones works a walk. That's the third walk issued by Wolf in this inning.
35 pitches already with 2 outs in the first inning.
Wolf's the type of pitcher, and Rick Kranitz comes out and we'll talk with him, that has to have the opposition help him a little bit. He wants you to expand your strike zone. The Yankees are a team that doesn't do that, and that might be a bad match for him, John. He's going to have to throw a lot of pitches, and his pitchers are going to have to come over the plate.
Well, it's been a common theme in this series, too. Zach Greinke, who has outstanding stuff, did not get any help from the Yankees the first game of the series. Markham, who throws a lot of off-speed pitches and wants the hitters to expand. The Yankees did a good job with him yesterday. It's been a nice first inning for the Yankees. 3 steals, 3 walks, and 1 big hit from Robinson Cano.
That's going to bring up Nunez. Eduardo 4 for his last 16. Hitting .243 overall. Popped up behind the plate. Kataris will put it away, and that will do it. But the Yankees get 2 runs, and here's how it broke down. A stolen base by Brett Gardner. Then a double steal, Gardner and Swisher, and then Cano with the double to left center. Scoring 2. Yankees 2-0 over the Brewers. The 2011 All-Star Game in Phoenix. Help send your favorite New York Yankees to this year's All-Star Game by voting up to 25 times at Yankees.com. Cast your ballot now for your 2011 All-Stars. Vote early and vote often. Vote today at Yankees.com. Voting ends at midnight today, and this is the voting as of this point. These are the leaders, and the Yankee fans have certainly done their part in trying to get their team favorites elected. You've got Granderson in center, A-Rod, Jeter, and Cano leading at third, short, and second. Russell Martin behind the plate. Bautista, Hamilton, and David Ortiz and Gonzalez, the others. Luckily for Hamilton, the game will be played
tonight.
Yeah.
Although out in Arizona, what time? 5 o'clock start?
Yeah, it's a little early. A little early. But I wonder, see if you can help me out with this. It'll be hot. The roof will be closed. So although it's day, sunlight's really not affecting you if the roof is closed.
Not a factor.
All right.
So he could be your pick to click in the All-Star game.
That's right, Hawk. Count 3-0 on Corey Hart. And there's a strike, 3-1. Got a good live fastball on the count, 3-2.
You know, Corey Hart, a guy who really likes the ball away from him, and you figured the numbers against lefties would be pretty good. 343 with 4 home runs against left-handers this year. Could always crowd him in with a fastball. Looks like they're going to stay away.
Corey Hart walks. That's going to bring up Casey McGee. Yankees lead 2-0 here in the second inning. Red Sox and the Phillies also playing right now. They're in the bottom of the second at Citizens Bank, and there's no score. Phillies have taken the first 2 games of that series. Well, 1 year ago, McGee was hitting .271 with 12 homers. A big drop at this point now at .227 with 4 home runs.
He drove in 104 runs last year, so he's got to pick up the pace a little bit. Watching this lineup for a few days, I mean, you got Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder right in the middle. They need a little extra production all the way through their lineup.
Grounded to third. Pena. 1, 2. Now around the horn, 5-4-3 double play.
Pena getting an opportunity to play third base. Alex Rodriguez getting a day off. 2 fielders here, Pena and Cano, who can field their position. Looks smooth doing it. An easy 5-4-3 double play.
John, how quick is Cano's release? And he does it in different ways. Sometimes he uses the bag as a speed bump. Sometimes he'll go airborne. It's amazing. What an arm. Matt Gamble. 0-1.
Double play just looked pretty all the way around. I mean, Pena at third base made it look easy on an in-between hop. A good feed to Robinson Cano. When you give him a good feed, he can show off a little bit.
Sabathia came to Milwaukee from the Reds, and those are the players that Milwaukee sent to Cleveland. And one player that the Brewers refused to include in the deal was Matt Gamble. Doug Melvin said, I'll give you an extra player, but I am not giving you this guy. And Gamble was called up right before this series began. He was having a great season at AAA, and some people think that if Fielder leaves via free agency, Gamble is going to end up being the first baseman.
And they're going to get a look at him against lefties.
Didn't look good right there. Couldn't hold up on the ball in the dirt. So another scoreless inning for Sabathia. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning. It's 2-0 Yankees. Which of the Yankees interleague opponents has most impressed you? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply, and here are your choices. Brewers, Cubs, Mets, Reds, Rockies. I got to be honest with you, John. I thought the Mets have given the Yankees the best run. And the Yankees took 2 out of 3, but the Mets are in all of the games. The other teams have not really overly impressed me at all.
No, the Reds.
Hot shot up the middle, a base hit for Sabathia.
Well, the Reds, who have a potent offense, really, the Yankees did a good job with them in that series. They didn't look quite like the club we expected.
Rockies didn't look very good.
The Yankees going to get another look at the Mets, and they're playing some good baseball right now.
This should be a fun weekend. I mean, both teams are coming in red hot, playing great ball, so something's got to give. And Citi Field has not been sold out a lot this year. I think just once on opening day, and I'm sure the next 3 games it'll be jam-packed, so it's going to be fun to be there. Here's Ramiro Pena, 2 for 15 so far this year, and he bunts. Wolf will field. He'll take the out at first. Moving to second is Cervelli. So the sacrifice is 1-3. This weekend, it is round 2 of the Subway Series right here on Yes. Game 1 coverage starts tomorrow at 6 with the outing batting practice, today's show, and then the pregame. And then Saturday, come back to Yes for postgame coverage with Yankees extra innings presented by Tri-State Ford. And then Sunday, we've got complete coverage of the series finale starting at noon right here on Yes. Kind of neat because those games usually, 2 of them are usually taken by national TV, but we get 2 this time. Tomorrow it's Nova against Nice. Saturday, Cologne comes off the DL against Dylan G, who's having a great year. And Sunday, Freddie Garcia against R.A. Dickey.
Dylan G, 8-1, a 3.32. Be a fun weekend for you over there, Michael.
Me, and we'll be Leiter and Cone as well. I know you'll be watching.
A couple of ex-Yankees and ex-Mets who give you the whole perspective.
They've seen the world from both sides now. And today, the Mets actually lead Justin Verlander 1-0. And the Tigers, that's in the bottom of the second. Popped up. Ricky Weeks back. Hart in. Hart makes the play.
Michael, I've never been to Citi Field.
Really?
As a fan, as a broadcaster, as a player, never been there.
Why don't you come tomorrow?
You know what? Okay, leave me a couple of tickets.
I will.
All right.
You should come with the boys. They'd love to come. Logan and Brian.
I'm trying to think what we have on the agenda tomorrow.
Nothing could be more important than that. Runner at second. Here's Nick Swisher. Hey, look what the guys at the scoreboard did, John. The new and improved stat board. You got to see it. We'll show you in a moment. How great is that? Because we talked yesterday that the stats at the new stadium were smaller than they were at the old stadium. This is legitimate.
And this jumps out at you. This really jumps out at you. Look at Randy Wolf's head underneath yours.
Not too many people could measure up to that kind of head. I like it. I think they should keep it like that. You know, Mike Bonner's birthday is July 4th.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he mentioned that to me 4 times today. There he is. Now, he's even standing for you. Any more requests, Kay? Yeah, I'll give him the in writing. It's just a strike.
Just doesn't sound right when they say any more requests, K. How about Michael? You're on a first name basis with all those guys.
You would think Bonner would do that.
Just sounds a little more polite.
You hate it when people call you Slattery.
I'm not a big fan.
The 2-1. 3-1. Randy Wolf, interleague starts on the road in his career, 17 of them. He's 7-7 with a 4.14.
Well, good situation right here for Nick Swisher. You know, he had a great year last year hitting in the number 2 hole in front of Mark Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez. Ahead in the count, 3-1.
That one is driven deep to left field. Going back is Bronnies, has room, and he'll make the play right in front of the warning track for the final out of the 7th. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We played 2 here at the stadium. After a long run by Braun, Yankees are up 2-0. Nothing. And as we move along here in the 3rd, we get the opportunity to check in with our very own Kimberly Jones. Kimberly, Saturday we gave the matchup in the Mets series, and Bartolo Colon off the DL, right back in the rotation. What's up?
That's right, Michael. Joe Girardi saying this morning that as long as his bullpen went okay, he would start.
That one gets past Teixeira. We'll see how they score it. If he made a good throw, Betancourt would have been out, but they do give him a hit.
And through Director of Media Relations Jason Zillow, after the bullpen, Colon indicated he felt great. He's looking forward to getting back and helping the team. So you're right. He'll start Saturday against the Mets.
Now, Phil Hughes had that good minor league assignment or rehab assignment, and he's already here.
Yep.
So what's he saying?
Well, he feels very good about himself after yesterday's outing. He needed that 88 pitches with great command and explosive stuff, according to General Manager Brian Cashman. And now he waits to see what's next, because the Yankees are weighing whether he will make a start here or one more rehab start. If you look at the schedule, though, this works in Hughes' favor because he really wants to get back to the Yankees. The schedule, if he makes one more rehab start, would mean he could not make a major league start until after the All-Star break. It's unlikely the Yankees would want him to wait that long.
Gutierrez with a deep drive to center. Going back is Gardner. He'll make the play. Tagging is Betancourt. And he's going to make it the second on the long fly ball to center.
Well, Kim, it sounds like we have a lot of pitchers who are vying for some opportunities. Any chance they go to an extended rotation?
I think that's a great point, John. I think there is a chance from now to the All-Star break that perhaps you do see 6 different starters for the Yankees. It's hard to take someone out of the rotation, but if you want to work Phil Hughes in, that's what they would have to do. I guarantee you the one thing they won't mess with is CeCe has 2 more starts before the break, Tuesday and then Sunday, which of course the day before the break, you'll see CeCe start both of those games.
Let me throw this at you, though, John. We know that pitchers are creatures of habit. I mean, they might not like having a 6-man rotation.
Well, they might not like it, but I mean, this is the problem that is thrown in front of the Yankees, and it's a good problem when you have guys coming off the disabled list. But I'm going to ask Kim this, and it popped into my head, what Phil Hughes did out of the bullpen a few years ago and the bullpen a little beat up for the Yankees now. Any chance he moves back into that role?
Joe Girardi has said he'll never say never, but the plan certainly, John, is for Phil Hughes to come back as a starter. The problem is, problem in quotes, because it's not a problem, both Freddie Garcia and Bartolo Colon, before he was injured, have been pitching so well. And, John, I know you've been very impressed with what you've seen lately from Ivan Nova, who arguably is pitching his best ball right now. So it's just hard to subtract when here you have two guys coming off the DL ready to be added.
Ricky Weeks with a 1-1 count against CeCe, and that one's fouled off. Well, I mean, if we do the math, Kim, I'm not saying it's an easy decision, but it comes down to two players, I think. I think it comes down to Nova or Bartolo Colon. And by Bartolo Colon, he was great. He was arguably the second best pitcher, but Kim, he also has the kind of stuff that translates to the bullpen. So either they send Nova down or they put Bartolo Colon in the bullpen. I think that would be the only moves they could make. Right, and Nova has options, Michael and John, that makes that simply a possibility, which they don't have with the other pitchers. And in terms of Colon, maybe they look to see what he does Saturday, and then they go from there. The six-man rotation is something they will discuss. Nova with the options they will discuss. Helping a bullpen that has just added Sergio Mitre to it, they will discuss. It's all on the table right now. The Yankees genuinely aren't sure what they're going to do, except for the fact that Colon's been penciled in for Saturday.
You know, and I guess, Kim, if they're not sure exactly what they're going to do, this six-man gives them a little bit of time to think about it and see how things play out, and then also you get through the All-Star break.
That's exactly right, John. Think of it that way. You're buying yourself a week with all quality pitchers, guys pitching very well, and two coming off the DL who you expect to pitch well, and then you have time over the All-Star break to really look at your options and maybe make a decision going forward in the second half. But for now, that might be the option you see the Yankees go with. And the thing that the Yankees have, too, you know, you put the word problem in quotes. Yes. It's really not a problem because of the fact you've got six legitimate candidates and the team's playing well. So the stress is on the guys have to worry about where they're going to be, but the Yankees really don't have any stress. Absolutely. And back in March, Michael, who would have thought that this would be the situation the Yankees are in? It certainly is a luxury that they're in that situation. Kim, we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Thank you, Michael and John. All right, that's Kim Jones, and we'll hear from her on the postgame as Sabathia battles Weeks and strikes him out. A big strikeout with a runner in scoring position. Well, you know, amazing just talking to Kim. If you think back to spring training, Freddie Garcia and Bartolo Colon at the beginning were, you know, okay, right, you know, extras and give yourself a little bit of, I guess, security or depth in your rotation. Now they're two guys that you really can't take out of that rotation as well as they have thrown the ball. That one's foul back. There's Freddie. You know, and his strength is going through a lineup and pitching around certain batters to get a matchup that he likes. So as you said, I don't think his stuff translates to the bullpen quite like Colon or possibility of Phil Hughes. I know the Yankees say they don't want to make that move. See how it plays out. Let me ask you this, John, because this I haven't heard discussed. Do you think Nova's stuff translates to the bullpen? You know, I thought when he first came up, a couple of years ago or last year, I thought it did. And then he had maybe an outing in Boston where it didn't go so well. And you know, but he's a guy right now, when I look at him, the Yankees have invested a first half, and he's gotten better. He's become a reliable starter. Do you just want to get rid of that? I mean, how far he's come? It's a tough call. It really is. I mean, I've thought about this a lot, go back and forth, and there's no easy decision. I mean, how do you tell a kid who has 7 wins and is pitching his best ball? Okay, you know, you could drive to Scranton right now. That would be a tough thing to tell somebody. Now, we've seen it happen. I mean, you see it happen all the time. If you have options that you can go down to the minor leagues and the Yankees don't risk losing you, sometimes it's the safest decision. But I always base it on how do you feel about a pitcher if you're a teammate when he takes the mound. I'm sure the Yankees feel great about Nova right now. He has gotten better in the first half, continues to improve. I hate to see that progress take a step backward. But in relation to that, they also feel very comfortable with Colon on the mound. Yeah. Grounded slowly to third. Pena fields. He'll eat the ball. It's a base hit for Carlos Gomez, and Betancourt moves to third.
perfectly placed, and I thought that Pena made the prudent decision not to throw the ball.
He certainly did, and there's nothing you could do if you're CC Sabathia or Pena at third base. Swinging bunt down the line. You go for the fake throw if you're Pena trying to get the runner. Betancourt coming around third. Very talented player, Gomez, as far as tools, can really run, has some pop. Threat to steal second base with 15 stolen bases on the year coming into this game.
Here's Braun. Pitch inside. Braun is a really good hitter with runners in scoring position. 28 for 78. That's .359.
It's an interesting at bat right here. We've seen Braun this whole series, the ability to really drive the ball the other way. I'm sure CC and Cervelli behind the plate, you're tempted to crowd him inside, but he has 16 home runs. In one swing of the bat, this is a different ball game. Tough pitch right here, 2-0.
Count 3-0.
Went with the changeup, and the changeup really has not been an effective pitch early on for CC. Left that one up and away. Prince Fielder waiting on deck, a left-handed hitter that CC struck out the first inning.
Now let me ask you this. This is, I can't imagine he did this. I know Braun's a right-handed batter. Could he have just pitched around him to face Fielder with the bases loaded?
No, I don't think so. I think when he got behind 2-0 and he decided to go with the changeup, CC realizing that was a dangerous count to challenge with a fastball in a two-run game early on. He went with the changeup and he missed. And then you say, you know, I got to be careful because you might be swinging 3-0, so you miss with your fastball. It's fine. Obviously, a lot of work to be done here with Prince Fielder. 21 home runs, 69 RBIs coming in, who handles lefties pretty well.
Bases loaded. 2 men out. There's a strike. Nice pitch, whispering across the outside corner.
Sometimes you just want a new count, Michael, whether it's a Prince Fielder up there hitting lefty. Perfectly located there for strike one. Get a new count, you jump out ahead 0-1, all of a sudden you feel better about it.
There's a wave at another breaking ball.
Back to back, can't do it much better if you're CC.
Big spot in this game early. Top of the third inning, Yankees up 2-0. Bases loaded, 0-2 count. The cleanup hitter, Prince Fielder, is at the plate. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. 3 straight breaking balls, and Fielder strikes out. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. Big time pitching by the big man. CC Sabathia strikes out Fielder. We go to the bottom of the third. Yanks up by 2.
Patrick Ewing sits down for new GMC Presents Center Stage with Michael Kay. The former #1 pick discusses his 18-year career in the NBA, including his epic playoff matchups with Michael Jordan, Reggie Miller, and Alonzo Mourning. It's a new Center Stage tomorrow at 11 o'clock, only on Yes.
Watch that show. Good show. If you can have the kids stay up till 11, have them watch it too.
Well, we'll go to the game.
DVR it.
Get back right on time for 11 o'clock.
Pretty impressive performance by CeCe. Lincoln scoreboard 2-0. Yankees getting out of the bases loaded jam. And he did face the batter that he wanted to face. And he took care of him.
You know what? And Russell Martin, I love this here. I mean, he has a day off today, but he's talking to his #1 guy, talking about matchups, what happened, what pitch you were using, what maybe they talked about before the game.
That one is drilled deep to left field. Going back, Braun on the track, looking up. See ya! The 300th home run of Mark Teixeira's career, and it is 3-0 Yankees.
Mark Teixeira remembers number 300 for his career. He's going to remember there was no doubt about this one. It had the sound off the bat, good extension. Ryan Braun, a little courtesy trot to the wall, but this ball is way out of there. Home run number 25 on the year and 300 for his career.
Well, that's the most. That ties the most that Mark has ever had at the All-Star break. 25 home runs. He's having a big power season. So 25 home runs, 63 runs batted in. And that clips Cano on the way by.
Well, you always think about it if you're a hitter after Mark Teixeira hits his 25th home run and you get hit by a pitch. Was this on purpose? I don't think so. Randy Wolf, a reputation of a pro out there on the mound, and I think Robinson Cano took him the other way the first at bat, a double and a couple RBIs. Tried to run a fastball inside and just clips that guard on the right elbow.
Here's Jorge Posada. Pitch outside. Posada leads all designated hitters with a .385 average in the month of June. Just got this word, John. The struggling Red Sox have designated former Milwaukee Brewer Mike Cameron for assignment. Fly ball left field off the bat of Posada, and Braun will make the play for the first out. Some other news and notes from around Major League Baseball. I told you about Cameron. Now you got the MRI on Johnson, shows no structural damage. And Bedard, who really has come back beautifully from arm problems, 15-day deal with a sprained left knee.
You got to believe the Red Sox are going to be looking maybe for an outfielder.
Yeah.
Problems in right field with production.
But their issue might be this. Do they have enough in their system? They gave up a truckload of talent in 2 years of deals. One for Victor Martinez, who has since become a free agent, and then the trade that got them Adrian Gonzalez, who's certainly been great and is probably the AL MVP. But when you make deals like that, you give away your best prospects. Do they have the big-time prospect? They have a great young shortstop. His name is Iglesias, but they look at him as their shortstop of the future. Would they put him in a deal? There's a ground ball up the middle, a base hit for Andrew Jones.
Then you start thinking, are there any big league players that you can maybe package in a deal? Obviously, a contending team, Boston.
you know what? They kind of have a glut at shortstop with Lowry and Scudero, and the kid Iglesias is ready to play defense right now. Be an interesting second half. The trade deadline is July 31st, where you can make a deal without waivers. There's a breaking ball strike to Nunez. One of the young players that they've been using is Josh Reddick. He's actually hitting over 400. But do you feel comfortable with Josh Reddick in a pennant race? And there is a pennant race, everybody, because everybody just assumes, well, the Yankees and the Red Sox, one will win the division and one will make the wild card. Tampa Bay's not going away. The 0-1. Grounded foul. .60 pitches for Wolf, and that's how it breaks down. He had an easy second, but look at that first inning, 36 pitches, and certainly working hard here in the third.
Obviously, Ron Renicky, manager of the Brewers, would love to get a few innings out of Randy Wolf. Zach Greinke only went 2 the opening game of the series. The bullpen getting a lot of work in this series.
Right after this game, they will head to Minnesota. Meet the Twins, 3 games. Yankees haven't said anything for sure, but it seems like Derek Jeter could be back on July 4th in Cleveland, which would give him 7 games before the All-Star break. And since Derek went down on June 14th, Nunez 13 for 47. That's 277. And in those 14 games, the Yankees were 11-3. The 0-2. Driven out to right center. Gomez on the run. He'll make the play. Tagging is Cano. He'll go to third. So there are 2 outs. Yankees have runners on the corners for Cervelli.
See, Nunez hits this ball pretty well. Gomez in center field can really glide after the baseball. Robinson Cano tags up, advances to third, and brings up Cervelli 1 for 1 with a base hit. Got a fastball his first at bat on a first pitch. Able to hit a rocket right back up the middle. Of the at-bats, Michael, as a backup guy you cherish. I mean, you know you're not going to get many hits. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities to play. You can get a big hit with 2 outs, first and third, drive in a run. You feel a whole lot better about your ball game.
Count 1-2. One-two. Looped into right field. That is going to dunk in for a base hit. Scoring is Cano. Andrew Jones moves to second. An RBI single for Cervelli. And the Yankees lead 4-0.
Francisco Cervelli, nice afternoon so far. First at bat, it was a rocket. Here he just fights off a fastball inside. Out of the reach of Ricky Weeks, and this is a thing of beauty for a backup player. A base hit, an RBI, a 2-out base hit, an RBI. He's going to show a little enthusiasm and energy like Francisco Cervelli does.
Here's Pena. Slices one foul. Sack bunt for Pena in the second inning. Ground ball. Oh, nice play by McGee. Gets to his feet, fires, and they just get Pena for the final out. What a play by McGee. And what a home run for Mark Teixeira. He crushes one in the seats and left. At the time, he gave the Yankees a 3-0 lead, but it was a milestone home run, number 300 for Tex. The New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Curtis Granderson has 14 stolen bases and 21 home runs. Now, who are the only 3 Yankees in history to have 15 stolen bases and 20 home runs before the All-Star break? Who is it? See that little kid that was over the...
I did.
Yeah, good-looking kid. Chris Moore. You know who that is?
I do.
It's our director, John Moore's son. He's the heir to the Moore fortune.
But, you know, word on the street, he's a player, too. Good baseball player.
Really? Count 0-2. So John gave him the choice. Would you like to sit in the truck and watch Daddy work?
Yep.
Or watch the game? And you could see what Chris's answer was. He's not in the truck. Swing and a miss. Corey Hart down on strikes.
Well, you get the feeling in this ball game the way CC Sabathia has pitched lately. The Yankees getting him 4 runs early. Now the rest is up to him. A good slider down middle. Picks up another strikeout.
Casey McGee. Chop towards second base. Cano. Second out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Matt Gamble, his brother Ben, we mentioned this earlier in the series, drafted by the Yankees in the 10th round last year, and he is now a member of the Staten Island Yankees. The 0-1.
Brewers giving Gamble an opportunity to play today against the left-hander CC Sabathia. They want to find out, can he hit at the big league level every day against righties and lefties? Great numbers at AAA this year. An opportunity to show if he can play here every day.
Nice breaking ball as Gamble started to flinch.
Seven strikeouts already for CC Sabathia. We'll take a look at the last slider.
Chop towards short. Nunez gets the hustling Gamble for the final line of a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning at the stadium. The Yankees lead Milwaukee 4-0. Granderson, 14 stolen bases, 21 home runs. Who are the only three Yankees in history to have 15 stolen bases and 20 home runs before the All-Star break? And the answer is A-Rod. Soriano did it twice, and Bobby Bonds did it in 75. Pitch outside to Gardner. 4-0 Yankees here in the bottom of the fourth. Popped up. A little confusion there as Braun makes the play.
Braun coming on, Gomez right behind him. Seen Morgan in center field the first two games of this series. Gomez coming on, a little lack of communication. Randy Wolf Holds his breath for a little bit. This is a good off day for Curtis Granderson, huh, Michael? I mean, the trivia question about him facing a lefty, a little day game after a night game. Kind of slowed down a little bit. I think Joe Girardi picking a nice day to give him a little rest.
It's almost a strategic aspect of what Girardi has to do. A-Rod has to have days off every now and then as he gets older. His knee's been barking. And you got to pick when's the best time. As Swisher wraps one to left field. Nice play by Braun, cutting it off, holding Swisher to a single. So you rest Granderson against the lefty. You rest A-Rod, and you've got your best pitcher on the mound, so you might not need that much offense. Day game after night game, you got to stretch it 10 more games in a row. You pick and choose. It's an art.
Be tough for a manager too to sit two of your most productive offensive players. He's got to be disciplined, knowing they need a day. And look at those numbers now: 25 home runs, 63 RBI.
Rounded up the middle, grabbed there by Weeks, steps on the bag, one on to first. It's a double play. So they had him played beautifully, and that will do it. We played 4 here at the stadium. Yankees lead the Brewers 4-0 as Weeks starts a 4-4-3 inning-ending double play. Red, white, and blue ribbon in a hair. Ain't that America? Good stuff here at the stadium. CC Sabathia has good stuff today as well. 7 strikeouts for Sabathia, and he has a 4-0 lead. And he deals to Rafael Betancourt a strike. Unieski, Betancourt. I said Rafael. I apologize. Unieski had an infield single to short. That was in the 3rd inning. Betancourt came over from the Royals in the Greinke deal. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not, said Alan Porter.
The slider has been a good pitch all afternoon. Betancourt holds up.
Grounded to short. Nunez. One away. There's Phil Hughes. Itching to get back. Says he's ready to pitch for the Yankees right now. His next turn. The Yankees have not made that call yet.
Michael, I sit here and I watch CC Sabathia, 68 pitches, 1 out in the 5th inning, and you know the way he's been throwing the ball lately, you almost feel like this game's over. And you hate to say it in the 5th inning, but he's been so good lately. He's got that slider going. When he gets in trouble, he can make big pitches. You just expect so much from this guy. It almost makes it look easy.
You expect so much and you usually get it. He has really been everything that the Yankees could have hoped for when they signed him. He's given them the leadership in the clubhouse that they wanted, and most importantly, he's been the ace that you need.
You know what I think too, you know, Andy Pettitte retiring, and you know, I think CC is kind of leading this staff now, and more by his attitude than anything else. So he steps out on that mound, he expects to give a complete game effort. He expects to give the bullpen a day off.
He likes day game starts. 10-1, 1.77. Maybe he's facing a lot of teams with blue eyes. I'm not sure.
That could be it, but you know, I'm just thinking from a teammate's perspective. I mean, you really got to pay attention that you don't just shut it down here for the rest of the game. You've scored 4 runs. You have him on the mound. He looks like he's in total control. But I'm sure you take him for granted from a teammate's perspective that he's just going to shut him down from this point on.
John and I separately and together have been talking to people involved with the Brewers, and they still rave about what CC Sabathia meant to that team and how they loved him, and no one has a bad word to say about him. In fact, he made such an impression in his half year there that last year, a couple of years after he left, as he gets Contreras to swing in his 8th strikeout for Sabathia, they actually held a bobblehead day, a CC Sabathia bobblehead day last year.
A few years after he left.
There it is. That's when he's celebrating when the Brewers finally clinched a postseason spot.
Okay, you know what? That bobblehead looks a lot better with the split screen, so you actually know what it's supposed to look like. If it was on its own, I don't know.
I don't think it looks like CC on his own.
Let's take a look at our Home Depot hitter scouting report on Ricky Weeks. Kind of flies under the radar here in Milwaukee with Fielder and Braun getting all the attention. But a power hitting second baseman, 29 home runs, 83 RBIs last year, and he can lead off a game with some home runs, 25 in his career and 4 this year.
Driven the other way, long run for Swisher, but makes the seats.
And we've been talking about all the power for Ricky Weeks and Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder, and the Yankees in these 3 games have really done a nice job keeping them in the ballpark. It's a big part of how they score runs.
Cheese does not really hold up well in the sun. Count 2-1 on Ricky Weeks, who has struck out twice against Sabathia.
Well, you were talking about CC and his times in Milwaukee and pitching on short rest at the end of the year to get them into the playoffs.
And knowing he was going to be a free agent, the last thing you want to do is get hurt. And it was his idea, it was not Ned Yost, the manager's idea, and his agent actually softly suggested to CC that might not be the best idea. He wanted no part of it. He loved the team. He wanted to carry them to the playoffs, and he pitched great 3 times on 3 days rest. He really was the stud of the staff. The 2-2, 3-2. That's what he did with Milwaukee. They acquired him on July 7th. In 17 starts, 11-2, and look at the ERA. a miss. Strikeout number 9 for Sabathia. He has retired 7 in a row. He's got Ricky Weeks 3 times swinging. We're halfway through here at the stadium. A dominant Sabathia, and the Yankees leading 4-0. The team is playing overall, and especially today at 4-0. Cano lofts one to left field, coming on as Braun, and there's 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 5th. This weekend, round 2 of the Subway Series on Yes. Final series of the interleague slate. Game 1 coverage starts tomorrow at 6 with Audi batting practice today, and then the pregame and Saturday come back to Yes for postgame coverage with Yankees extra innings presented by Tri-State Ford. The game will be on Fox and then right to Yes. Then Sunday, we've got complete coverage of the series finale starting at noon right here on Yes. Breaking ball strike. She's got a fan, but she's not helping out her sibling. High fly ball. Shallow left. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. Braun kept looking at Betancourt. Betancourt was expecting Braun to call him off, and then it dunks in for a hit.
Well, if you're Jorge Posada, you will take it. He has been hot lately, and here he gets jammed with a fastball inside. Betancourt runs a long way for this one. Not quite sure what Ryan Braun was thinking. You see Gomez also took a step back. He's nowhere near the play. Got to believe the big swing from Jorge Posada getting jammed fooled both of the outfielders.
Here's Andrew Jones, walked in, single, pitch inside. Popped up again. Shallow left center. This time Gomez is there. They don't put it away for the second out. Wolf has settled down a bit. Really labored in the first inning and ran into trouble in the third. And he's down 4-0. Here's Eduardo Nunez, 0 for 2.
Seems like Wolf finding a little bit better rhythm, getting on the mound, delivering the pitch, getting right back after it. There were 103 pitches in his last outing.
Brewers signed him to a 3-year, $29.75 million deal on December 9th of 2009. He's one of 2 brother combinations in big league history to be a player and an umpire. His brother Jim is an umpire, cannot umpire at home plate when his brother is pitching. And the only other brother combination player and umpires back in 1972, Tom Haller was a catcher with the Tigers and Bill was the umpire. Nice play there by McGee as he gets Eduardo Nunez, and that will do it here in the 5th. No runs a hit, 1 man left. 4-0 Yankees as we go to the 6th. It has been see you later for the Brewers as Sabathia has mowed down 9 and is leading 4-0 as we go to the 6th. Here's Carlos Gomez. Check out this play, the way the inning ended. So you have Nunez flying down. His helmet goes. He kicks it. And then where does it land? Right on Gamel's head. Couldn't do that again in a million years. Gomez swings and misses.
CC Sabathia, 9 strikeouts already in this ballgame, ties a season high. Heading to count 0-2 to Carlos Gomez.
Check swing, goes back to the backstop. Cervelli fires the first. They got him. The speedy Gomez was gunned down by Cervelli, and a nice scoop by Mark Teixeira. So strikeout number 10.
Well, Mark Teixeira gives the point to Francisco Cervelli for the good throw, but it was a great pick by Mark Teixeira that made this play to get Gomez by half a step. Always disappointing as a catcher when you let strike 3 get by you, but he recovered and made the play.
Wow. Wow. No one argued, but I think he was safe. Not the way Alan Porter saw it. Ryan Braun outside. Time for the GE Capital partner play. Great partnerships are built on trust at GE Capital. We prove that every day.
It looked like a slider, gets through the legs of Cervelli, but he comes up, back foots it, a good strong throw. And an outstanding pick on the other end.
Wow. It's hard to get on Porter when we've seen it 5 different ways in every kind of slow-mo, X-mo, yes-mo, and still not sure. Hot shot up the middle, a base hit for Braun. Boy, he's been on fire. 20-game hitting streak. He's 2 for 2 and a walk against Sabathia.
And I don't remember too many cheap hits in this series. I mean, every ball that he has hit hard. He's hit balls to right field there, right back up the middle, pulled a few base hits. It's called a man locked in for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Here's Prince Fielder. There's a strike. Now, we told you that Fielder and Sabathia are really close. Closest friend that you ever had pitch against you. Guy that you really considered a buddy.
Because it's bad. I don't think any pitchers were my friends. Is that bad?
Not really. I just hope that there are friends in general.
You know what? I faced Dave Island a bunch, but we didn't really become friends until he came to Tampa Bay.
Right.
Randy Johnson and I weren't buddies.
No, you were not. That one is driven to left field and deep. Going back, Jones on the track at the wall. He'll make the play. Fielder gave it a ride the other way. And now they will cross paths, see if they say anything to each other.
I figured there'd be a few comments flying back and forth. Fielder has struck out twice before this at bat. You got CC Sabathia's attention driving that ball the other way.
Kind of just a quick glance. Here's Corey Hart. Andrew Jones makes the catch. Doesn't even look the ball into the glove. 10 gold gloves. I guess he knows where it's going to be. Just you hear stories when people face pitchers that are their friends. The hitters might have an advantage because the friend doesn't want to move the guy back or hit him.
You know, and I'm thinking about it. I have a good one. Aaron Seeley came up in the minor leagues together with the Red Sox, and then he ended up obviously Texas, Seattle, other places. That's some pretty good numbers off him too.
There you go. You didn't think he would hit you, did he?
No, that really didn't have a whole lot to do with it. I felt like I could almost think along with him. You know how, because obviously working a game together in the minor leagues, you think about when he wants to throw his curveball, when he's going to try to sneak a fastball by you. This made me think I wasn't really good friends with too many pitchers.
I always remember the story. Bill White was very close with Bob Gibson when they were on the Cardinals together. And they got traded to the Phillies. And he took a hack, a real aggressive hack at an outside pitch. Fouled it off. Line drive foul. Next pitch, he drilled him right in the ribs. And Bill White's running down the front. You're nuts. Swing and a miss. Count 3-2. Sabathia with 10 strikeouts so far. He struck out at least 10 in 5 games with the Yankees. Last time he did it was July 6th of 2010 in a 6-1 win against Oakland.
When you have 10 strikeouts at this point, your pitch count is going to be elevated a little bit. 95 here with 2 outs in the 6th inning.
Swung on and missed. Foul tip held on to by Cervelli. 11 strikeouts for Sabathia. No runs a hit, no errors in. One man left on base. CC looks like he tells Fielder, thought you had that, didn't you? He didn't. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Got to come out to Yankee Stadium on Sunday, July 10th for a special giveaway when the Yankees take on the Rays. The first 18,000 guests, 14 and younger, receive a Yankees fan ring courtesy of Manfredi Jewels. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium and ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. 4-0 Yankees. Cervelli leads off. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI single. It was 11 C's there. High fly ball left field. Braun battling the sun and puts it away. How about the hustle of Carlos Gomez from all the way in center field? Ran maybe 40 yards just in case Braun lost the ball.
Playing a little bit, shading Cervelli towards right center field, covering a lot more ground.
That's pretty cool. There's a strike. Well, Randy Wolf has hung in there longer than it looked like he was going to over the first couple of innings. He had a high pitch count. Here he is, 6th inning, still dealing. Team obviously still in the game at 4-0. But 4-0, the way Sabathia looks, seems like, I don't know, 8-0 against another pitcher.
Yeah, the Brewers just hoping for the opportunity to get into the bullpen for the New York Yankees, which has been good lately, but I think they've seen enough of CC Sabathia this afternoon. But this is what Wolf gets paid for, Michael. I mean, even when he goes out there, doesn't have his good stuff early on.
Grounded left side. Gobbled up by McGee. 2 outs. Check out the starting pitchers for the first game of the Yankee-Met series, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Get the ultimate in entertainment on the Ultimate Network. Fios and Network ahead. Ivan Nova, 7-4, 4.26. Jonathan Neese for the Mets, 7-6, 3.67. Our coverage begins sharp at 6. 6:30 is the pregame, and then 7:07 should be right around first pitch. And there's Nova, just chilling. Brett Gardner takes a strike.
Nova gets a chance to swing the bat.
Yep.
I think he did in Cincinnati as well, right?
Didn't look great.
No.
He faced Travis Wood a couple times. He struck out 3 times. Once tried to bunt with 2 strikes and bunted foul. And the 1-2. Grounded to short. Unieski Betancourt just gets the hustling Gardner for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We played 6 here at the stadium. Yankees lead Milwaukee 4-0. It's 4-0 Yankees, 4-7-0, leading 0-4-0. Sabathia, 11 strikeouts, the most he's ever had with the Yankees. And he still's got some innings to go. Teixeira hit his 300th career home run. And Robinson Cano with a 2-run double. That gets you caught up. Maybe just get out of work. Maybe you were in a long meeting. Thanks for joining us. Cadillac scoreboard 4-0. And McGee takes a strike. chop foul.
Just looking at the pitch count now at 99. His next pitch will be 100, and CC has thrown 109 pitches this year in a ball game. Don't know how long Joe Girardi will let him go with those 11 strikeouts today.
That's the one negative with strikeouts. You have to throw more pitches. A 1-2. Foul away.
And talked about it, CC, a guy who prides himself on trying to throw complete games, giving that bullpen an afternoon off in this case.
But he fights to stay in there, John. He doesn't want to hear about pitch count.
I remember a game 2 years ago in Seattle where it was kind of a blowout game, and CC had pitched 7 quality innings, and I thought it was a great opportunity to get him out of the ball game.
Ground ball to short. Nunez.
CC ended up pitching the 8th inning and got taken out for the 9th, and I saw him after the game and said, I was surprised you came back out there for the 8th inning. He didn't want to hear anything about it. He said, hey, my job's to throw a complete game, give that bullpen the rest of the night off. He was aggravated coming out before the 9th inning.
You know, he talked about, you don't even have to talk about it. All you have to do is look at the numbers, how great he's been as a pitcher. And that's why the Yankees got him. But there was a sidebar to it. Brian Cashman, the Yankee GM, knew Sabathia's reputation as a uniter in the clubhouse. Everybody loves the guy, from the clubhouse kids to every single teammate. And, you know, CC was a little concerned about the Yankee clubhouse. He had heard that it's a little corporate, that it's, you know, everybody's to their own thing and they're not that close. And Brian told him, you know, we're broken a little bit and we think that you could fix it. And John, I don't think he could have been any better at that job from the first day he walked into spring training.
No, I totally agree. And, you know, when you hear everybody talk about what a great guy he is, I went in with a little skepticism to tell you if it can't be this good. But from a man in that clubhouse, from a teammate to dealing with everybody with the media, he's been better than advertised.
Strikeout number 12 as Gamble swings and misses.
Well, the Brewers wanted to see if Gamble can handle some left-handed pitching at the big league level, and he's run into a buzzsaw this afternoon at CC Sabathia. I mean, that's a big slider down and away after a good fastball. Strikeout number 12. Gamble has struck out twice.
Hot shot up the middle, a base hit for Betancourt, his second of the afternoon. Torres cannot hold up.
Torres, a backup catcher. You go out there against CC, a 4-0 game, 2 outs. You're hunting a first pitch fastball, and CC did not give in. Threw him a slider and another one.
The 0-2, swing and a miss. Lucky 13. CC Sabathia has struck out 13 Milwaukee Brewers through 7 innings. No runs a hit, no errors. 1 man left at the end of 6.5. It is time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead 4-0, but will stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
On Yes is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Nick Swisher will lead off. Here in the bottom of the seventh on the Cadillac scoreboard, 4-7-0, leading 0-5-0. A career-high tying 13 strikeouts for CC Sabathia. Pitch outside. He said that this game would be as weird for him as pitching against the Cleveland Indians, but he's turned weird into dominating. He really has been dealing right from the very beginning. He struck out the side in the first inning and really hasn't looked back.
Yeah, there really has not been a whole lot of trouble except for the third inning. Bases loaded, Prince Fielder, and was able to pick up a strikeout. Take a look from the side here with Nick Swisher. It's that cut fastball inside that keeps running in.
The 1-2. The 2-2. Drilled to left field, but foul.
Well, every time Nick Swisher seems to come to the plate right now, he is locked in hitting balls hard, whether he just pulled that one foul. Had a hard fly ball to left field, had a chance for a home run, and then he had a base hit to left field.
And Swisher is down on strikes. Mark Teixeira will step to the plate, and it gives us a chance to show you the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Cold, hard, and historic. And that was in the third inning.
Michael looking out to the Yankee bullpen. I do not see any activity. Looks like CC Sabathia going to come back out for the eighth.
Grounded back to Wolf. Two outs.
Boy, Randy Wolf, who worked so hard in the first inning, 36 pitches. Obviously, you don't want to be down 4-0, but you got to take a little pride here with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Eating up some innings for the Brewers, giving the bullpen some innings off after a tough start.
Nice play by Wolf. And an easy 1-2-3 inning. Wolf is retired 8 in a row. CeCe's coming out to pitch the 8th. He has a career high tying 13 strikeouts and a 4-0 lead.
CC Sabathia. This will be the longest K by K I have ever done. A bunch of fastballs for strikeouts, a good slider, change up for another strikeout, another slider, 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 fastball. He has it all going on this afternoon. Change up for another strikeout, a good slider to the lefties. It's 13 Ks for CC Sabathia.
Ricky Weeks has 3 of them, and he leads off. The first pitch is outside. So that ties his career high. Set that with the Indians back in '07. Trying to pick up his 11th win.
It would be a tough call for Joe Girardi to see if he was going to send Sabathia out there. Obviously 13 strikeouts, only 5 hits, throwing a shutout, but the pitch count elevated now at 110.
Broken bat popped up. Cano will make the play for the first out. Well, time for another look at today's Toyota text poll. The question was, which of the Yankees' interleague opponents has most impressed you? You've been voting at 58-772, and here are the results. It's close, but the most votes were garnered by the Mets, and I would agree with that. Then it was the Reds and the Rockies, and the Cubs and the Brewers have not impressed anybody. Oh, that many. Larry Rothschild's impressed with CC Sabathia. Pitch to Gomez is a strike. Hyundai scoreboard, it's 4-0 Yankees over Milwaukee. Grounded to third. And they're 2 away. Ayala and Robertson heating up. Mike Harkey has not had any urgency on that phone today. And here's Ryan Braun. 2 of the 5 hits that CC has allowed have been by Ryan Braun. He also walked, so a perfect day for him, and he has a 20-game hitting streak. Still throwing 95 miles an hour. You almost think that this is the type of day that Larry Rothschild could almost think about things he has to do around the house. If he has to pick up any groceries or anything like that. I mean, he's not really racking his brain with CC out there.
No, but you know what? I actually enjoyed that angle that we just had, because I noticed Larry really bearing down on CC right there and getting a good look at his mechanics. I don't think Larry Rothschild ever takes a pitch off, but you're right. Today would have been one of those days you get a nice seat on the bench and enjoy it. Now, I know Joe Girardi knows all the matchups, and I'm sure he doesn't know that this tied his career high in strikeouts, right?
Well, they had it on the scoreboard. I don't know if he saw that. Maybe Jason Zillow, the media relations director, might call down with a milestone like that. But just from talking to Joe about certain things like that, I don't think he manages according to that. You know, he's been asked about Derek's pursuit of 3,000, whether it should come at home. Does that influence the decision? He said it really doesn't. And Brian Cashman says the same thing. There's a strike. $117 pitches for Sabathia. 4-0 Yankee lead. Here's 118, a 3-1. Ground ball through for base hit. Braun is locked in. He's 3 for 3, a 2-out single. And let's see what Joe does. Here he comes. You got Fielder coming up, and boy, Fielder's been handled by CC. Joe has not signaled yet. The crowd anticipating that CeCe's going to be taken out.
Well, he's going to talk to him about it. Maybe you leave him in there to try to take an opportunity to get Fielder out. It's not going to happen.
And he is going to get a well-deserved huge ovation as he walks off. And what a day it has been as Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT NYA, and he will bring in his left-hander Boone Logan to face Prince Fielder. But look at the line on CeCe: 7 2/3, 6 hits, just 2 walks, 13 strikeouts, which ties a career high, and 118 pitches. No runs, but the runner at first certainly his responsibility. Right from the very beginning, John, we could see he had good stuff. 95 miles an hour in the first. He struck out the side, and really the only Brewer who gave him consistent problems was the guy who just knocked him out of the game, Ryan Braun.
Yeah, Ryan Braun. But you know what? You'll take that with Braun, keeping him in the ballpark. You see the numbers for Boone Logan that are starting to get better, dropping that arm angle a little bit. Braun with his 3 hits. They've all been singles.
Fielder flirted with the long ball the other way in the 6th, but it was run down to the wall by Andrew Jones. In left field right now is Dickerson. As the Yankees try to tighten up their defense, they put him in at the start of the inning. There's a breaking ball strike. Let's take a look at the IOTV HD Super Shot. That's young Prince at the old Yankee Stadium with Daddy. Cecil Fielder. That one is drilled to right field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is a foul ball.
It just shows you how quick Prince Fielder is on the inner half of the plate. CeCe, who did a pretty good job with Fielder, a couple of strikeouts on a long fly ball, but he gets a fastball in, has not seen that pitch all afternoon. Was able to take care of it easily.
He's trying to body language that one into the seats. A little bit of a laugh for CeCe. The 0-2. Foul back. Logan's been much better of late. A lot of people have given credit to the talk that Alex Rodriguez had with him in Cincinnati after Logan came in. First pitch, he had Joey Votto taken out of the game. But Logan said, nobody ever wants to give me any credit. He said, I'm the one throwing the ball. He said, you can't say it was just a conversation. He had said that it was nice what Alex had said and kind of get his head on straight. He said, but I'm the one delivering the pitch.
No, he also dropped his arm angle a little bit, which made that slider a little more sweepy. He's made some mistakes to Fielder. You better get one away.
Kept that one low in the count, 1-2. top of the 8th. Yankees 4 and Milwaukee nothing. Hammered foul.
Tell you what, Boone Logan is throwing some sliders up there. That Prince fielder is all over. Cervelli going out to have a conversation. They've tried to throw the fastball in. He cleared it out. They've thrown some sliders that are spinning middle of the plate. Boone Logan has gotten away with a few mistakes. Yankees have done a good job with him this entire series, but he looks like he's locked in on everything Boone Logan is throwing this at bat.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Went with the fastball. And the fielder 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts today. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Logan wins the battle. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees up by 4. The first game of the series starts tomorrow at 6 with Audi batting practice today, and then the pregame. And then Saturday, come back to Yes for postgame coverage after the game on Fox with Yankees extra innings presented by Tri-State Ford. Then on Sunday, back with us again. We've got complete coverage of the series finale starting at noon, and that's right here on Yes. Those are your probable starters. Tomorrow you get Nova against Nice. Saturday, Bartolo Colon will come up the DL, and he'll go up against Dylan G. Look at those numbers. And then Sunday, Freddie Garcia against R.A. Dickey. John Axford, the new pitcher and the closer for Milwaukee, throws a strike to Posada. 20 saves for Axford, 46 strikeouts in 35 and a third innings. Hyundai scoreboard 4-0 Yankees. Now Ron Renicky wants a lead, but John, he can't complain too much about Randy Wolf's performance. He gave him the length that he needed after struggling early.
Yeah, if you would have told me after 36 pitches in the first inning that he still would have been able to complete 7. I mean, Ron Renicky obviously not happy where this game is at or this series. Randy Wolf did his job eating up some innings.
98-mile-an-hour fastball by Axford. Sergio Mitre, who was acquired from Milwaukee after yesterday's game for some cash considerations and activated before the game today. As the Yankees designated Buddy Carlisle for assignment. He's warming up alongside Ayala.
miles an hour with that fastball from Axford. He's got that 12-6 curveball. It throws right over the top. Probably tough to pick up the baseball if you're a hitter.
Swing and miss. 97 miles an hour. Actually pitched in the Yankee organization in 2007, was released. Then he worked as a cell phone salesman in the Toronto area, but like with most cell phones, he dropped that. He signed by the Brewers in March of 08, and then worked as a bartender before 09 spring training. You might have run into him there, John.
Oh, that's a shot. That's a shot at me. In the 8th inning, things have been going so well. 13 strikeouts, but that's the first shot of the afternoon.
Here's Dickerson.
It's amazing what you can find on a resume.
Unbelievable. That might have been one of the great resume graphics we've ever had.
And the first thing that jumps out at you, the Yankees released them. I'm sure there's something changed along the way, because if you throw 97 with a big-time curveball, you're not going to be released in the minor leagues. Maybe had some injuries.
Well, in 04, he had Tommy John surgery, so obviously he's battled back from that. Grounded and grabbed there by Gamble. Nice play, but his throw to Axford was a little bit too hard, so Dickerson will reach.
Well, Gamble, a guy who's played third base in the minor leagues, moved over to first base this year. He makes a nice play diving to his right, but doesn't look like he has a whole lot of finesse on the throw. A little bit too much for Axford to handle.
Give Axford the error. It was in the glove, but it was thrown pretty hard. Pitch is a strike to Nunez. Trying to compare the two closers from bygone eras. Got a different mustache now than he had in that picture. This is the Fu Manchu variety. Dickerson goes. The throw to second. Stolen base. You can see Kataris just kind of shoves the ball out there.
And when you watch him throw to second base, it's almost like he's throwing at 70%. Just kind of tries to get rid of it in a hurry. Nice and easy with the throw. Doesn't overexert himself.
That almost looks, John, that's the kind of throw you make to second after the last warm-up toss of the inning. Not quite the urgency that you usually see on the throw to second. 1-1. 1-2. Nunez 0 for 3 today. Punched out toward first. Gamble will take it himself. He'll step on the bag. Moving to third is Dickerson. So 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees looking to bulk up their lead just a bit. They're at 4-0, and that's going to bring up Francisco Cervelli. He is 2 for 3, singled to center, blooped the single, and drove in a run to right in the third, and then a fly ball to left in the 6th.
Big afternoon for Cervelli. Couple of hits, RBI, 2 out, base hit, and RBI. Nice day for a backup player. Your starting pitcher has 13 strikeouts. Catching a shutout, and you have a few hits and an RBI. Good day.
Boston leads Philadelphia 5-0, bottom of the 8th inning. Detroit leading the Mets 5-1, top of the 7th. Those are the. Well, there's one other game that's just begun. Colorado 3-0 over the White Sox. That's in the top of the 2nd. And then I see the one National League game. San Francisco won the Cubs, nothing, top of the 4th. So a lot of action around the big leagues. .3-0 on Cervelli. No strike. .3-1. Grounded up the middle. Does it sneak through? Yes, it does. A base hit. Scoring is Dickerson. Another hit for Cervelli. Another RBI, and the Yankees lead 5-0. Hey, you can vote along with us for today's Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772. You can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, CC Sabathia. Do you have to read the other ones, John?
I don't think so.
All right, let's move on. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Here is Ramiro Pena. Fouled away.
Michael, I watch Axford pitch, and it doesn't look like he's throwing as hard as he is. He hit 99 miles an hour during this inning. Fastball consistently 96, 97. Doesn't look that hard.
So they bring in Axford to get some work. Haven't had an opportunity to use him in this series, and he's given up a run here, make it more difficult in the 9th. Skied to left field. Braun is there, and that will do it. But 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 man left. We go to the 9th inning. Yankees up 5-0. Post-game show as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry will bring you today's highlights with updates from around baseball. Plus, Kimberly Jones will get the reaction from the clubhouse, and of course, there's Joe Girardi's press conference. It's all coming up on the postgame, and it's only on Yes. Luis Ayala will try to get the final 3 outs of this one. It's been all Yankees. Sabathia pitched into the 8th inning. Got the 2 outs before a single by Braun knocked him out. Struck out a career-tying 13. Boone Logan got the final out of the 8th, and now Ayala brings great numbers in to this inning. Will try to get the final 3 outs of the game. Yankees looking to continue their dominance in day games. Corey Hart fouls it off.
If Ayala can finish this up, the Yankees looking for the sweep of the series of the Brewers. Be 5 in a row after losing that first game to the Rockies.
(22-4) in day games. And the 1-2. Grounded to third. Pena is there. 1 away. And by the way, today we saw Mark Teixeira hit his 300th home run. And our Jack Curry found out that Yankee security retrieved the ball. The fan got a baseball and was also going to get a picture during batting practice with Mark Teixeira. That was a trade the fan made. So Mark has his milestone 300th home run ball, which is nice.
Works out for everybody.
Here's Casey McGee. Foul back.
I got to be honest with you, Michael. When I go up to the studio to work with Bob Lorenz, I'm not doing any research during the game.
Right.
I'm eating all the candy that he puts out in his office, have a nice meal.
Not Jack.
Jack seems to come up with all these things.
Never stops working. You know, it's that newspaper background.
What are you trying to say? That's what you bring to the telecast too?
I think that newspaper men just inherently work hard. It's in the blood.
So ex-big league players just take it easy?
I didn't say that. You're taking it as a shot. There's a ground ball to short. There's 2 away. Now, Paul O'Neill's an ex-big league player, right?
Yes, a very good one.
Yeah, your witness, counselor. 2 away, so the Brewers are down to their final out.
Good thing Al Leiter and David Cohn coming in for a few games with you.
Yep. Here's Matt Gamble. And this should do it. Ground ball to Cano. And the Yankees win the game 5-0. And you can put that one on the left side as they continue their hot ways. They are 48-31. Season high, 17 games over 500. They've won 15 of their last 19. They've won 11 of their last 13 at home. And Joe Girardi has his team clicking on all cylinders. So stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. Historic day for Mark Teixeira as he hits his 300th home run. But really the story today, John, had to be CC Sabathia. From the first pitch, you could see he was dealing, he was locked in against his former team.
Yeah, and in that G pitcher scouting report, I question, can it get any better for CC Sabathia? He's been on such a good run. Well, it did. I mean, 13 strikeouts today, 3 strikeouts in the first inning, a shutout. An impressive afternoon for the #1 starter for the New York Yankees.
And he is now the major league leader with 11 wins, and he continues to dominate in day baseball as well. So the Yankees get a victory without Alex, without Granderson, but they did have Teixeira, and he is with Kim Jones right now. Kim?
He is indeed, Michael. And Mark, in the last couple days, some of your teammates have said they think you're playing the best ball as a team as you have all year. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think that's a great assessment. I mean, and it starts with starting pitching. You know, our starters have been so good. Just let us go out and have fun as hitters, and whatever we can get our starting pitching is going to be enough.
We'll get to the big fella in a moment, but I want to talk to you about that home run. When you think back on career home run number 300, Will, it was a no-doubter come to mind?
Yeah, it was a good swing. Wolf pitched really well. I mean, I give ourselves a lot of credit for scratching 4 runs against him, because that's a good pitcher. He mixes the ball in and out, uses a cutter, big, slow curveball, and it was just good to get one good swing off him.
Yankee security secured the ball for you from the fan. What will you do? How cool is that, and what will you do with it?
Very cool. I'll keep it with some other special balls. I mean, 300, it's a lot of home runs, and proud of that 300th home run.
You move into the Major League lead with your 25th on the season. That's got to be a good feeling, right? You're the Major League leader.
Yeah, it feels good. And the number one thing is we're in first place. The number one thing is we're playing good ball. And like you said earlier, I think right now we're playing the best ball of the season.
What can you tell us about CC from your vantage point? Pitches into the 8th, ties his career high with 13 strikeouts. He never will admit it's easy, but he sure makes it look easy, doesn't he?
He really does. He was fun to watch today. And I noticed early on his fastball had a lot of life, 95, even 96. And when CC's throwing his fastball like that, with the slider and the changeup, it's just tough to hit him.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thanks, Kim.
Michael, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Kim. CC Sabathia picks up his 11th win, the 167th of his career, and that ties him with Bert Blyleven for the most wins before his 31st birthday. Mark Teixeira with his 300th home run, Yankees with a 5-0 victory.